is Ann Laird, and I'm a librarian at the Encino branch of the San Antonio Public Library. And I'm going to show you today how to make crystallized flowers using borax. So what you will need is some very hot boiling water. I have an electric tea kettle here that's going to help me out with that, but you can always do boiling water on your stove. And I have a large plastic cup. You can use a large cup or a mason jar or really any kind of container that you can suspend your flower in. You're going to need a pencil or a dowel or a pen or something to tie your flower to so you can suspend it. And then of course some string to tie it with, or you can use yarn or what you have around the house, scissors. And of course the borax, which you can get at your grocery store in the laundry section, and a tablespoon to measure the borax with, and some silk flowers, and I have here some daisies and a rose. So your first step is going to be to make your borax solution. You want your water to be totally saturated with the borax. And I am using a plastic cup here. It will get a little bit soft with the very hot water. You don't want to use a disposable cup because that will melt. So you need to be careful to be using a container that's not going to melt with the boiling hot water. So I'm going to pour that in, probably about halfway to 2/3 full. And then we just start adding our borax. And I used about 12 tablespoonfuls for a cup of this size, but you're just going to keep adding and stirring until the water seems saturated, like you can't stir any more in. And if you have a little bit at the bottom of your container still, that's okay, because your flour should not be touching the bottom of your container. You're going to try to suspend it above the bottom some, and also try to get it where it's not touching the sides. So 4 scoops in right now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't have to be super exact on this. Again, you just want to get your water pretty saturated with the borax powder. And since I did this before and I know about how much to use, I'm just going to go ahead and use my measuring spoon to stir with. I normally have another spoon. I forgot to bring that in here with me today. And you can see your water will get a little bit cloudy as it's saturated with the borax. You do need to use hot water for this to dissolve the borax. So it is important that it's hot water, not cold water. Now, unlike the rose, if you have leaves off the side like this one does, a lot of the time they'll just pull off and you can actually stick them right back on like when you're done. So I'm just going to pull off the leaves, and I am going to tie my rose to the pencil first before I put it in the water. So kind of measure against the outside of your cup here a little bit too, to see where the best spot would be to tie it at. For me, it looks like it's going to be right about here. So I'm going to lay my pencil underneath that spot. Use my little piece of string, just kind of wrap it around and tie it up in a couple little square knots. I'll wrap it around the other way again in a minute. Pencil is going to help keep your flower steady in your cup. So I'll just set it right down in there. And this rose is a little bit top heavy, especially with this longer stem. On the one I did earlier, I did trim the stem some because I didn't mind that it was not going to be a long stemmed rose. And I also put a little bit of tape over the pencil and onto the outside of the cup to help hold the pencil steady. So I'm going to move this to the side. And I have some finished ones I can show you. I left this in borax from about 5 p.m. the night before to about 9 a.m. the next day. So this is heavily crystallized. You don't have to leave it in that long. You can check it after a couple hours just if you want some more lighter crystals, see what it looks like. Do be careful with this. It is pretty, the crystals come out pretty easily. They are kind of fragile. Now you will have some crystals on the inside of your cup or container when you're done, and those will come off with hot water. So you should be able to wash that out with hot water and get them to break up and be just fine to use that container again. And then I didn't put the daisies back on the stem, especially because they do get kind of heavy after being crystallized. But this is what the daisies look like. And I think that they would be pretty, just kind of sitting as a little decorative item. So I hope you enjoy that little project. And if you have any further questions, you can go to our website or contact us by phone.